Hello everybody, Gail here. Got a bit of a croaky throat, so hope you'll excuse my coughing. If it gets really bad, I'll just start again. Anyway, I've got so many things to show you. I think I'm going to start with the things I talked about last video. Number 50, because we're 51 now. That'd be nice if I was 51, wouldn't it? Now, I told you I bought a sewing machine cover panel. So here it is. You see the picture of the cats looking out the window? And on the other side as well. Aren't they cute? All the instructions. I think I might do a bit of my own thing on it, but I'll get me advent calendar back. I only ever put what they're called, chocolate liqueurs in them. I have a different chocolate liqueur every day. Just, you know, something different from getting them out the box. That's my yearly treat. What else am I going to show you? I'm going to show you the baby quilt that I have made for my niece's ex-stepdaughter. I don't know what her title is now. My niece got married and her husband had a daughter from a previous relationship, and she was, when they started being a part of our family before she got married, I think the daughter was about 7, so she's 20 now, I think 20 or 21. We don't see very much of her since my niece has got divorced, but she's having a baby and it's due in about 3 days. Anyway, I've finished the quilt, so I shall get my chair out the way and show you. Here it is. So it's got 12 pictures on it of various sheep, and the plain is just striped in coordinating fabric. So I shall show you a close-up. I'll tell you, it is very disorganised in here. I've been tidying up, but in order for one part to be tidy, the rest is untidy at the moment. So I haven't really succeeded yet. I'm halfway through. So there's 12 of these panels of sheep, and each one I've embroidered. So can you see? They're not all fully embroidered on purpose. It's not that I got fed up. I just decided I didn't need to do any more on that particular sheep. In between the sheep, I put these little squares. And on the other side, some of them are French knots, some of them aren't. They've all got French knot hair, and this one here in the bottom corner, this is tied, so it's stringy for texture. Yeah, that one's got little crosses. And I've done a little non-intrusive label that says "Made with Love by Auntie Gail," because, you know, that's what she's called me for the past 13 years, even though I'm not really. And August 2024 I've put. So that's all done. I can put that in its wrapping now that I've shown you. Now, I have bought a baby panel. I don't think I've shown you this. If I have, I'm sorry, but there you go. So this has got 2, 4, 6, 12 pictures, and I think I'm going to make 2 quilts out of this. So what have we got here? I don't know. Some sort of birds, and here's another 2. thought they were nice. They were unusual, aren't they? Kind of old-fashioned, maybe from the 30s. Old-fashioned pictures. They're all different. What's on the next one? A donkey and a bear. So these are going to be kind of neutral. Oh, gosh, that's made my arms ache. So I've got that panel ready to do another baby quilt. Not that there's any more babies that we know about, it's just that I'm going to make lots of baby quilts and see if people who don't sew would like to buy them. So off Sheila, I got some pieces of this, and I can't remember the range. Oh, I wonder if it's on any of the salvages. That's called Blueberries and Cream. I think that's the colour. What's this one? Happiness is a sunny morning and a bowl of blueberries and cream. I think it says it on all of them. Doesn't tell me the range as yet. Just that nice little saying. We know it's by Moda because Sheila at Quilting Treasures UK, she only sells Moda. And I can't remember what range. Maybe it's called Blueberries and Cream. I can't remember what it's called. And I haven't found any. Oh, it's called Blueberry Delight. I should have brought my glass of water with me, shouldn't I? I just had too many things to carry. Anyway, these are the fabrics. And these are long quarters, so that I can cut them into 10-inch squares. Because when you get a fat quarter, you only get to get 2 10-inch squares, really. It's very unusual that you can get 4, I think. So if you get long quarters, you can get 4 10-inch squares out of each one. And I do like working with 10-inch squares. And also, if you have to cut them into strips, they're all width fabric, which, you know, is very handy. Okay, I also bought a pack of neutrals, and these are from different ranges, I think. I don't think I'm going to have a look on every one. Can you see? Let's put them on there. So they're kind of creams, and then we have lighter ones with little flowers on. This has got navy little flowers on. Reminds me of a dress my eldest used to have when she was a baby. This, it's multicoloured spots, little pink flowers with green stems. This is a spot, I think. Can you see? That's a spot. And this is a nice swirly, and that's got little crosses on. So I've got all those as well. So that's those to go in a pile somewhere. I'm getting everything sorted into piles. I've got a very big pile here of various whites. Anyway, I recently found out, I know that Sheila sells all Modas, and she sells I can't remember what they're called. Are they called basics? Well, she sells the plain Bella Solid, that's what they are, Bella Solids. And she also does thatched, and I recently found out that she did these, which are called Flow by Bella. So I bought a selection of Flow because I like this sort of thing better than plains. I am trying to buy plains, but you know, they're not my colour of choice. And see how they're different colours. Kind of orange and pink. And this is a peachy one. And a nice yellow one. I like yellow. And purple, and pink, and blue. All sorts of colours. I use this to make a teddy bear. No, it's not a teddy bear. I've got it somewhere. I hope. Here. I've got to fill it. Now, I've got on my shelves next to where I sit all my things I like. And on the shelf, I've got a big frog and a baby frog that the big frog is holding. They have two little beads for eyes, and they're filled with lavender and rice by the feel of it. So my grandson has been asking me for months and months and months, can I have a frog? Can I have a frog? And then I'm saying yes when I finish what I'm doing. And then he said, can I have a baby frog? I said yes. Now the baby frog that I drew round was thinner than this. It was very hard to turn out. My stitching is rubbish, but you know, we'll see how it turns out. And then I said to him, what colour do you want it? And he said blue, because that's his favourite colour. So we used that blue colour. So I'm going to sew its eyes on and fill it with rice tonight. I don't think this is Flow. It might be. No, it's Chickadee. It must have been, you know, an extra kind of neutral amongst the flows. That's a lovely green, isn't it? Lovely leaves that will make. So there are all my flows. They're nice, aren't they? They're all quarters, fat quarters. And I also bought some bright Bella Solids and some cozy Bella Solids. So the bright ones are bright and pure colours, and these are muted and cozy colours. Aren't they nice? I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I thought they were lovely. So I got them. That's all from Sheila. I also got this from Sheila, which is a fat stack. I don't think my husband is going to be coming in today because he should be still at work for another couple of hours. Right, this is Winterly by Robin Pickens. So I bought a fat stack especially. Now this isn't the fabric I'm going to be making my Christmas quilt out of. I've got another range of Christmas fabric as well, but that can wait for another year. So it came with a panel, and the panel's got pictures on. It's got a long panel like this on the top and the bottom. So that's 22, is it? 22 inches wide. It's got two small square pictures and another two. How big are these? 12 inches, so they're not that small. 12 inches square. So it's got 4 pictures and a top and a bottom. Now that just came with the fat stack, so it's a bit of a bonus really, but I think that's everything I've shown you, isn't it? Yeah, I don't want to, you know, forget that there's some more there. So this is still all from Sheila from Fabric Treasures UK, and these are all fat quarters, which are lovely, aren't they? So at some point soon I've got to decide what fabric to buy for, you know, my borders, my extra that I like to have. Now this one, I was thinking of buying this, you know, some yardage, and making a border out of them, because I thought you could cut out the triangles and put them the right way up, you know, like a border. Like I could cut out, say that much, and then cut out the same amount on another one, because they're not all the same. That one's got see how they're different? That one's different and that one's different. Anyway, I thought I could cut all the pictures out and make myself a border. Don't know what to do with the red. I suppose I could make a border out of the red as well. Anyway, I've not decided, but that's an option. That's a nice red stripe, which, you know, is more or less plain, isn't it? This is as well, red with little doves on. Yeah. Well, lovely colours. Here we have a red spotty one. I'll show you all the reds together. That way. And this one's got like mistletoe on it. You know, when I go and visit my daughter, there's lots of trees which we thought were full of crow's nests, but it's not, it's mistletoe. And then there's that one, that's red and that's red with the cream background, which I think she's already sold out of. Anyway, they're all the red ones. They've all got red in, just they're mostly red. And then we have the creamy ones. Aren't they lovely? They've got doves on them. Are they the right way up? There. Doves and snowflakes in the swirly cold air. And this one is a spotty thatched. And here we have one with red berries, mistletoe type thing. And this is like the border fabric, but it's not on a border. But it's the type of fabric that was at the top and the bottom of the panel. So they're all the kind of pails there. And then we have the greens. So that's a spotty thatched, like snow. That's the same as that, the border on the panel. Now, is this a red or is this a green? It's on a green background, so we'll call it a green. They're lovely, aren't they? Are they amaryllis? Are they? Not sure. And here's the red berry mistletoe type thing on a green background. And we have a lighter green, snowy thatched. You see how the thatched is got like lines crisscrossed all over it, and a lighter green of the birds flying in the swirly air. So there's some greens. Now we have darker greens. Again, the birds flying in the swirly air. We have a darker green of the red. So many of them. I'm not going to use them this year though. We have a stripe. I think we've got that in cream and red. And then we have a nice dark green with the red berries, or the mistletoe type. And then we have the red amaryllis type flowers on a dark green background. And this is on a black background. She always does a range of, a selection of black backgrounds or really dark grey. So here's the thatched with the spotty and black stripes, green and red, and the birds flying in the night sky with all the swirly cold wind, and the trees again that they've put as a border on the panel but with a background. And we have some black mistletoe and berries, red berries, whatever it is. So that is the whole selection. That way round, I think. I don't know which way round. Anyway, with those two and the panel. So they're going to go away. I'm not doing those this year they will have to wait for another year or two. I have got another Christmas one as well, but I can't remember what that is. I saw it when I was tidying up. I need to, you see, keep track of what I've got so I don't keep buying more. Just bought some Christmas panels today from a lady on my D-stash. I said to her, I don't need them. But you never know, do you? You never know when you're going to have another grandchild. Who obviously then will need a Christmas quilt just like all the other ones. So next we move on to Flutterby Fabrics. Last time I called her Butterfly Fabrics, but that's not what she is. She's Flutterby and she's based in Wales, and she has a live sale at slightly discounted prices every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and I tend to go mad. So what I bought there last week, because, well, the week before's, last week's hasn't come yet. I bought this fabric, and this is from the same range as well, but I thought they were lovely. I mean, I know it's got orange flowers and I don't like orange flowers, but I won't highlight the orange. I like the dragonflies, and we saw one last week, me and my grandson. We were, my eldest grandson, we were in the back garden, and I said to him, come quick, there's a dragonfly. He was very excited, never seen a dragonfly before. Now I bought this because this was an end of roll. I just thought it would look lovely in the bathroom. So I don't know if it's going to end up in the bathroom, but I bought that because I liked it. And I bought some of this. I've got a story to tell you as well. This is a 3D. You see how it looks 3D, but it's just a picture of 3D things. It's completely flat fabric. My grandson said, oh, it's like Play-Doh. Picture, you know, Play-Doh. It is. He's very right. And I bought a pink one as well to make a dress for my little granddaughter. And I showed my daughter and she said, oh, what did you buy that for? It's horrible. She's not girly. And it was, well, it's kind of peach pink, and it had fairies and flowers, and I have a feeling the fairies had flower hats and things. It was always so pretty. That's horrible, she said. She won't wear that. So I put it down on the settee and I said, come and have a look, see what Granny's got. And she came over and she put her hand over it, and her face was like screwed up looking at it, and then this big smile broke out on her face. Thought, she knows better than her mum. Anyway, she took it home. She took it out to the car, and then it got kind of squirreled away in the car, and she had other things with her. So I got it out while she wasn't looking, and I was folding it up outside the car, and she saw me with it out the window and started crying her eyes out, so I had to give it her back. So, yeah, if I get it back to make her a dress, I will. Anyway, I was a bit chuffed. It was a bit like a win. I got 2 meters of this because I thought that's lovely for a backing or something. I'm sure it'll come in useful at some point. So I bought 2 meters because I thought it was lovely. I like to have things in, you know, just in case I think of something to do with it. Anyway, I've no, you know, I'm shocked at how much I've got in here. I'm trying to organise it into colours. At the moment, all I've done is I've filled all these boxes. I've filled 1 box with Christmas fabrics, and obviously it's not all in there because some of it's here. And I've filled about 3 boxes with dressmaking fabric. And I've made piles of things. I've got a pile of fabric to make things for my granddaughter, whether I do or not, another thing. I've got a pile of calf facets. I've got a pile of what are they called? Grunge. I've got a pile of grunge fabrics. Got about 16 different ones, and I've got an enormous pile of backgrounds, whites and creams, and self-patterned whites and creams, and I know I've got more than that pile. Anyway, on with what I bought. I bought 1 meter of this, rockets and things, because I've got 2 grandsons, you know, and I got this to go with it. Although my elder grandson I've been told by his mum not to make him a quilt this year. He's got enough. He chooses his quilts for his bed every day. So he'll have to wait. But my little grandson, he can have one. I got this because I thought it was lovely. And I bought some matching cottons as well, but I don't think I've brought them. I don't seem to have them with me. They must be still in the house. Burgundy cottons, lovely. I just thought that was lovely. That's why I bought it. No other reason. Now, everything else that I've got here, well, not everything else, because this I bought just because I thought it was lovely. Mr. Polar Bear in the winter. I thought that's lovely, isn't it? I thought it was. And then she got these panels out. Now, I think they're supposed to be cushion panels. So is that the tree on that side? Yeah, that's a tree. Can you see the edges? And on the other side, there's a Father Christmas. So I bought two, because I thought, if I buy two, that's 4 of those lovely, lovely pictures. I thought, I can make a Christmas sack for each of the children. Because at Christmas, you know, you have that many presents, all in various carrier bags. I thought I'll have one for each of the 3 grandchildren, and you never know when I'll need a 4th. And I thought that can be the front, and I'll use one of these fabrics on the back. So I bought that one just because I liked it, but that will do. And some nice holly, and some red birds and white birds on red. Are they robins and doves on red? That will go on the back of one of my sacks. And I got the same fabric in grey. They're lovely, aren't they? And you know, if you don't buy them, when you do want, you think, oh, I'll have to go back and buy it. Sold out, aren't they? And I got this one, skating polar bears. Not that they're going to come in contact, you know, I don't suppose they'll compare the back to the front. This one's poly cotton. But that's what I'm going to do. They're just going to be drawstring sacks to put their presents in. So as I'm buying them and wrapping them, I can put them in the various Christmassy sack and be more sorted than I usually am, having lost everything. Because that's what I do. As you know, I don't know where anything is. So the rest of this, well, it's been about 3 weeks, hasn't it? I've been very busy. Oh, well, I have. I wore myself out tidying up. It took me 3.5 hours. It took me about 3.5 days to get over it. Anyway, what else happened? My daughter has come up to see me with my little grandson. It's school holidays. Tomorrow I'm having my elder grandson and his sister for the day, and I have got some things ready to do with him. I've been preparing. We're going to be doing some what's it called, decoupage. I've cut up bits of tissue paper. I've got a big load of glue and some paintbrushes and some paper mache initials. So I've done all pinks, orange, yellows and gold and silvers for my granddaughter to cover her paper mache shape, and I've got all blues and gold and silver for my grandson because that's all he likes, different shades of blue. So I've got their initials. If they enjoy doing it, you know, I might buy the rest of the letters in their names, and they can do them every few months and have their names somewhere and help with the spelling and knowledge of letters, actually handling them that much. I've got lots and lots of sprinkles so that we can decorate biscuits, digestive biscuits, which are about 3 inches round, and they're quite nice. I buy the cheap ones because they're not quite nice. And then we dip their head in icing, you know, made up into icing that is quite thin with water. And then we sprinkle hair on the icing. And then we've got chocolate chips for the eyes. And we have some like pink licorice to make a mouth out of. And we usually have, when I do it with my grandson, maybe 3 that look like people, and then he starts making monsters. and they have like 18 eyes, and usually there's a chocolate chip on the biscuit and a chocolate chip in his mouth. I'm doing that with the granddaughter as well, and she's never done it before. So I've got that all prepared. And we're doing some potato stamping and carrot stamping and things like that with paints. And making nice pictures of, I don't know, penguins. I did penguins at school. I think they had, we had a carrot that did the wings, and a potato and a little potato to do the bodies. And then we cut out paper from magazines to do the scarves. I know that's Christmassy. I'll have to have a look in my books for something that's not Christmassy, but you know, they like making whatever you ask them to make. So that's tomorrow, and then of course on Wednesday I should be probably completely exhausted, flat on my back. And I've been feeling a bit miserable. So I dug out this project that I started during COVID, because during COVID I only had the one grandson and I wasn't allowed to see him. I only ever saw him, he was about 2. I only ever saw him online, and I decided then I was going to make a quilt that represented my broken heart at not being able to see him. So I made all these hearts that were made out of different fabrics to represent them being broken, and I sewed them onto iron-on interfacing and then turn them inside out. So you put the interfacing and the fabric sticky side to right side, and cut a slit in it, turn them inside out, and then I've sewn them, but you can iron them on as well, onto the white backgrounds. And I did have a plan that I was going to do Broken Heart until we were allowed to see him outside. So they were going to be greens to represent when we were allowed to see him on the grass in the gardens. And then we had more lockdowns, because Manchester had more lockdowns than anywhere else in the country. So they were going to go back to being broken hearted, and then we were allowed to see him. So I've done some red ones. I don't feel like putting the red ones on, because they represented a time when we were allowed to see him. But I've decided to continue with this now, because having a grandson 5-6 hours away is also making me broken hearted. You know, we go down and see him for a couple of days, he comes up and sees us for a couple of days. I only see him for, you know, a fraction of the time I see my other grandchildren, and it breaks my heart. So I've got all these, I've got hundreds of them made. I don't know what they're in piles of. They're pinned together in piles, all made with my scraps. And I've got this pile here ready to do, and I've just done these, did these ones last night, and I've got lots of whites. Now I've also been thinking, I think I'm going to make it double-sided, you know, a great big quilt full of broken hearts on the front and the back. Maybe the red ones I might embroider a big crack down or something, you know. But yeah, I'm going to make it double-sided, and it's probably going to have a lot of hearts on, because I think these are 4 inches. Oh, they're 5 inch, yeah, they're 5-inch squares. So and they're all mounted so that it goes on like that. But I think I'm going to do a big you know, I can't remember what it's called, the seam. We usually do a 1/4-inch seam allowance, don't we? I think I'm going to do a 1/2-inch seam allowance, or maybe cut them down, I don't know, so that they're smaller. And if I do them 10 by 10, that's 100. So if I do them 20 by 20, that's 400. So what's 20 times 4 inches, if I cut them down, because they're 5 now? 20 times 4 inches, 2 4s, that's 80 inches, so 80 inches square. And how many did I say was on it? 800. 20 by 20, no, 20 by 20 is 400. I need to write it down. Anyway, on both sides, that's going to be my broken-hearted quilt. It you know, started in lockdown, but since having well, since my daughter moved away, never mind her having her son, you know, it does pull at your heart when you don't see them, and then when you do see them, it's just not the same as seeing them all the time. When we went down in June, I was able to have a bit of a conversation with her, but it's just difficult when you don't see them every day or even on a weekly basis. So that's what I've been doing. I'm doing quite a bit, really. I'm doing tidying up. I'm making these. I've been doing my 10 stitch blanket as well. That's getting a bit bigger. I do like only doing 10 stitches, you know, you can't really go wrong, although I have undone it another 12 times. Because I think to myself, oh, what's gone wrong there? That isn't very good. So I undo it. And actually, I hadn't done it for about 2 weeks and I couldn't remember how to do the corners, so that got undone a bit as well. And once I finish tidying up in here, I'm going to start my Christmas quilt. And I'm going to cut it all out and sew it together on my machine. This can be the hand sewing along with the 10 stitch knitting that I can do in the house. I'm having trouble with this thumb, you see, and I think it's from hand stitching, you know, because you hold your needle like that. This thumb, you know, the thing that you press to make the fire, the hob go on, your gas light thing. I mean, we did have a button on the hob, but that don't work anymore. So I have like a long thing with a trigger thing that goes poof and lights the gas. Can't press it anymore. And I told you, didn't I, about when I was in the hotel carrying my mug of tea and my hand started to go weak and my tea was falling. So there's something wrong with that. So I'm doing less hand stitching, a bit more knitting, because it uses different muscles. And I've got my granddaughter's cardigan to finish as well. And the quilt sewing I shall do on my machine. The Christmas quilt anyway. So there you go, that's where I'm up to. What week is it today? Oh, I'm out for tea. I'm out for tea this week with my friends. We go every other week. And it's warm today, but not hot. It's cloudy, so I didn't see any shooting stars or any northern lights. Everybody else did, but not here in Manchester, because here in Manchester, as usual, goes covered in cloud. It was a lovely clear sky yesterday, and then when it goes dark, you go outside and it's just cloud. There was a little patch of, you know, starry sky, but I didn't see anything in it. Anyway, if I'm not meant to see it, did I tell you I've been on an aeroplane to see the northern lights? We went up in the sky and flew around for a bit. Didn't see them, they weren't there that night. And it was, you know, in the winter, there was ice all over the wings. Anyway, it was quite interesting otherwise, but a bit disappointing. And then we nearly got mugged on the way back to the hotel. I'm sure I've told you that before, haven't I? And if you want to hear the story again, just put it in the comments, and I will try and remember to relate it. Now, what was I going to tell you? There was something I showed you last week and I didn't tell you what it was. It was a stack of fabrics. I showed you all the fabrics, fat quarters, and I didn't tell you who it was by. Well, I think you're going to have to wait, because it could be anywhere. It's not within my sight here. Anyway, when I find out, I'll tell you who it was by. I hope this leaves you well, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.